weather's like. Yesterday, it was chilly here.
Oh,
like I went to walk out on my porch to do something, check something, and I was like, oh, it's chilly.
I had to go out yesterday and was outside for a little bit and had to come in and completely change my clothes because it was cold.
It was chilly. Yeah. No, I wore like a sweatshirt and so, but it was, it's always kind of nice to wear a sweatshirt.
But it's beautiful here today. And
pretty today.
Amy and I were just talking. This is literally, you know how there's those days where you just feel like you run all day, and you take a second to settle down, and then you're like, huh. And then I just said to her, I'm not ready to yet.
So what she's saying is, we have no idea what she's going to say tonight. So I'm a little scared, guys. I'm a little scared. We just tried to inhale some lemon to see if that would, we'll see. So.
On the upside today, there was a diamond call. And we got some really good and fun information. Yes. So I hope you guys have seen the post. Grab the wrong pen. Hope you've seen the post. We have a surprise, special, extra fun thing coming this summer in Citrus Bloom deodorant, body wash, foaming hand wash, and lotion.
I'm so excited about that.
So if you need to kind of prepare your budget ahead of time, those are going to be limited time offers, which means when they're gone, they're gone. They will be available either in a kit or individually. We don't know any pricing yet, and we don't know we do know it's not coming in May, but it will be sometime this summer. So the other thing we found out today is that the Father's Day promotion specials and oils will be available starting May 15th. No, May.
Yeah, right? No.
Was it May 15th or May 22nd?
Oh, that I don't know. Yeah, that I don't know.
Talk amongst yourselves, and I'm going to go grab that piece of paper. I'll be right back.
All righty. So, yes, it was good. It was a fun. Those were good stuff. Saw the graphic. The Father's Day promo is they are bringing back a couple of the Amave products. So the Amave, which was the men's stuff we got last year for Father's Day, it's the men's roller. And it smells good. It smells like a man. And then the soap again. So, and it comes in a nice little, like a dot kit. So that's the Father's Day kit.
Okay. So updates on product. Father's Day is supposed to become, now these are all subject to change. So just be prepared for that. Father's Day is coming May 22nd. They are hoping for a mid-June re-release of the turmeric duo caps. Okay. I know a lot of people have been anxiously awaiting to hear about that. And then the new pilot diffuser is scheduled to be, here's the deal, guys. These are not made in the USA. So we're waiting for shipment to come from the netherworld. And that takes a long time under normal circumstances. So that's going to be a July or August re-release on that one. And then they have not told us, they will not tell us about the Citrus Bloom stuff. So
when the exact date of that is. So sometimes this summer. So
but
that's exciting. Yeah, that's exciting. So,
well,
we had several, when we started doing these, we had several people that we took suggestions and, what kind of things would you like to talk about or things that we could help with. And a couple things that we got were, from several things was gut health. And that's always a big topic. So tonight we thought we would talk about gut health and balancing inflammation in the body. And those of you that are familiar and have been on this journey maybe for a little while know that we often talk about inflammation in the body. My number one thought, anytime anybody says anything about inflammation, is frankincense. Mm-hmm. That's kind of always my go-to is frankincense. And so it helps with like oxygen levels in the blood. We were just talking, we had a friend that just is a nurse and just messaged and is dealing with all sorts of face stuff because of having to wear the mask as much as they are. And so we were talking about that and even thinking maybe her utilizing frankincense will help too. Because again, if you think about it, you're wearing a mask, you're breathing back in your own stuff and your carbon monoxide level, it just changes. And so so that's something that they deal with. So we were talking about that. But frankincense is huge for inflammation. Those of you, Curie is coming, she said. And those of you that know, obviously, we utilize frankincense for lots of things. Lots of anything, everything, big things, little things, is frankincense. So huge, that is huge. Those of you, I don't know if you kind of are familiar with this or not, but anytime we're dealing with most issues that bring our body out of balance are inflammation based. Autoimmune issues are, many things. It's inflammation and the imbalance of that. Some inflammation is good, but the overabundance of that is not.
So that's why we talk about balancing inflammation. That's kind of a foreign concept to people too.
I know it sounds like we should just get rid of inflammation.
Yep.
Just get rid of it all.
But there has to be a certain level of inflammation within the body in order for it to function properly. I mean, you think about it, there has to be some pressure built up in the body in order just even for the bloodstream to work.
So again, that's why I always talk about this being a journey, because we're kind of learning as we go. One of the things, and I'll be honest with you, when we were first introduced to the oils, I literally thought that the oils, just take the oils and everything will be fine. Well, there's some personal responsibility that we have too in maybe making some changes, and as we learn things, that we realize. And again, that's why I said it's a journey. We don't when you first start sharing with oils with someone, you don't just be like, I can't even talk. You can't just be like, okay, these are all the things you need to do and all the things you need to take care of, and you need to do this. They will turn around and run away from you. So it's a process.
That would be like going to the doctor and having them say, we're going to address this issue, this, and this, all at the same time.
All today. And then you're going to be a basket case for the next time, whatever. So all of that to say, it's a journey, and we start utilizing some things. And here, guys, here's another little tidbit of information. Just because we put peppermint oil in brownies does not make them good for you. Does not take care of all the other stuff.
Burst bubbles.
I know, and I'm sorry. But again, you know me. I still drink my sweet tea. I do. It's just, I do. I try to balance it a little bit, but I do.
Yep. It's all about the trade-offs.
Just, again, we got to balance here. We got to balance. So again, all that to say, we're going to talk about some of our products tonight that are specifically that help with gut health and specifically gut health, but which in turn helps with balancing inflammation in the body. A lot of you have heard of the term leaky gut. To be honest, we all got leaky gut in some way, shape, or form. So it's just, again, giving our body the tools to bring it back into balance. And that's all that our oils do. Again, we utilize, the reason the oils work is because our body sees them as food. Okay, so some of these are more like food, even like when you look at them. But the oils themselves come from plants. Plants make them bioavailable for our bodies to process it, use quickly, and again, just to bring better balance, homeostasis state back to the body. So that's all we're doing. It's not some magic, whatever. It's literally just trying to bring the body back.
We're just introducing you to the tools that we can use to give ourselves a better opportunity to get that gut health in check.
And again, we're going to talk about like 6-8 products. But the thing is I can't see inside your body. Right. You can't see inside my body. We might even be having the same symptoms, but the cause might be different. So for some of this stuff, unless you have access to a naturopath, holistic, kinesiology doctor, this is going to be a trial and error process. For some of us, it's a little bit more, we can get that a little bit narrowed down because of some of the tools that we have to us, like from the medical aspect. But so I just want to encourage you, some of this is a process of figuring out and what works for you and maybe what doesn't, or you don't see a big difference, but you might with something else. So these are just some of the different products that we have.
Hey, Jean and Eric. Yes, Miss Jean, we are recording this, so it will be available to you at a later date.
Oh, you did. Sorry, just see that now. So let's start with, we're going to just start briefly with talking about the LLV, which is our lifelong vitality supplements. Carol is going to show you. These are, for those of you that haven't seen them, these are the ones that come in the little sachet packets.
So if you haven't gotten, if you took advantage of the special that was doTERRA's birthday, this is the packet that you will get or have gotten.
But they also come in the bottles, those of you know, and they're the 3 pieces of LLV are the Microplex, which is our multivitamins. I have some information. This is stuff that we use with your oil journey that we have been doing until we had to take the hiatus because of the craziness. So I'm going to just read some of it out of there just because sometimes it gives some stuff that I kind of sometimes forget about. But it is the Microplex VMZ Food Nutrient Complex, provides 22 essential vitamins and minerals, fights free radicals with the antioxidants vitamins A, C, and E, supports healthy metabolism and cellular energy, supports bone health, calcium, healthy immune function, and healthy digestion. Okay, so that is the kind of like the multivitamin in that. Second part is the XE Omega essential oil omega complex, which promotes healthy cardiovascular, nervous, and immune system function, supports healthy joint function and comfort, provides important modulating nutrients and healthy immune function, protects against lipid oxidation, and supports healthy function of the brain, promotes healthy skin, and that is where we get our fish oils as well, in those the fatty acids in the XE Omegas. And then the third is the Alpha CRS Cellular Vitality Complex. This is the one that for people who especially deal with symptomatic discomfort in the body, this helps immensely in reducing that and balancing that. This was a game changer for my husband, who had been dealing with back issues for years and years and years. But it supports healthy cell function and metabolism by reducing oxidative stress to DNA and other critical cell structures. Helps to protect cells against oxidative stress, supports cellular energy by reducing or by supporting healthy mitochondria and supplying metabolic factors of energy production. Helps with the immune function, supports mental clarity function, and includes potent levels of metabolic factors of cellular energy. So good stuff. So those are the three. You know, we've talked before about those. If you have any other questions about those, shoot us a message, put the comment on this on Facebook, and we'll direct you, because we've done lots of stuff about talking about lifelong vitality.
You have a message that you need to check and respond to.
Okay.
We got somebody that's having trouble getting in, I think. So LLV, like Amy said, is a game changer for lots of people. Just to give you a little bit of background history, our LLV was created by a triathlete who is one of the original founding executive team members of doTERRA. And he put a lot of care, and he actually, part of the condition that he used for joining doTERRA as a team was that he be allowed to put together a multivitamin complex that could be used for athletes, moms, you know, just in general. That was kind of his pet project. And it's one of the first products that doTERRA came out with very early on. It wasn't an original, but it was a very early on project. And it is, some of you might find this of interest, it is the #1 selling product that doTERRA has, in spite of the fact that it's not an essential oil. Now, all three of the components of the LLV has some essential oil in it. They all three carry what's called a tummy tamer blend, because if you all have been taking any type of a multivitamin throughout your life, you know that sometimes just taking that will cause upset of the digestive system. So they put a tummy tamer blend that's in there. It's in all three of the products, and it's peppermint, I think ginger. I was thinking there was a third component, but I can't remember what it is. So that's just something that's super interesting for you to know. It's also the one product that doTERRA has that has a 30-day money-back guarantee. So it's an item
printed right there on the box.
Yep, it's right
my
here on the
husband was
box.
taking that into somebody at work the other day that wanted information,
It
and so
says,
yep.
Just 30 days to change your life, guaranteed. Purchase doTERRA Lifelong Vitality Pack via the Loyalty Rewards Program, which, just as an FYI, for those of you who have your own account, you can purchase the LLV separately, but they drastically reduce the price for us if you purchase it as a part of the Loyalty Rewards Program. Not only do they drastically reduce the price, but they also give you the option to do add-ons. And each one of the add-on products that you add to an LLV purchase is drastically reduced as well. So, for example, one of the add-ons that you can include when they're in stock, they're back in stock, right? The deep blue polyphenol? Yes, one per. Are those products are normally $55, but with the add-on to the LLV, you can get them for $20. You get 10 points for purchasing them that way, so you don't get the full points for it, but you get a drastic savings on the price.
So that's the best way to get the deep blue for sure.
Yep. So
so that is the Lifelong Vitality.
Yes.
And
what I was going to say is the price, if you purchase them separately, is more than double. Well, I think it goes from $79.50 to $120 or $130 if you purchase them separately. So LLV on your LRP is the best possible way
That's
to
a
do
lot
that.
of letters.
Yes, that's a lot of L's and
I
yeah.
know. So good. So that is, and that, honest to goodness, is a huge
Starting point.
benefit. Yeah. And it's kind of like gives you that good foundation for that with gut health. So I highly recommend that. A lot of times I recommend that you get it, you take the full dose. Now, sometimes we work up to that over a couple days, but then you take the full dose. And sometimes after you do that for a month or two, you can kind of adjust it a little bit. But I recommend you do the full thing initially so that you can get the full benefit, and then you can kind of play with it.
Well, and just as a side note,
well,
in order to take advantage of the 30-day money-back guarantee, which very few people have ended up doing over the years, just as a side note. But in order to take advantage of that, you have to take the LOV as indicated on the box for 30 days.
Correct. So we obviously want to do that if you do this. So that is the Lifelong Vitality. You also know that we have children's vitamins. We have the A to Z chewable and the IQ Megas and liquid form. So we do have those as well. We don't have those at the moment to show you, but those are
those are both nicely flavored, so that hopefully your kiddos will be a little bit more amenable to taking them. The IQ Mega in particular is a wild orange flavor, so it takes the fish. Fishy
and
taste
I've actually
away,
taken that one too, and
taste away.
So
and those are actually plant-based omega oils. They're not necessarily fish-based.
Okay. So that's kind of a good place to start as far as that goes, given a foundation. And then, are we all on the screen, or are there more off the screen?
There's more off the screen.
Okay. I wasn't sure if I was making sure we could see everybody.
Hey, Carrie. They can see us, but we can't see them. Hey, Carrie.
So then when we start talking about gut health, one of the biggest things that I've seen personally a huge improvement with lately too is utilizing our Terrazyme, which is our digestive enzymes. Now, I actually utilize these for more than just food wise. I have noticed that this time of year, the seasonal threats with all the stuff in the air have got my eyes really itching. Well, when I utilize Terrazyme, I utilize them a little bit more during the day. That actually helped immensely to kind of get those cleared out of my system. So Terrazyme is huge.
Think of it as a vacuum for your gut.
Yes. Now, and here's a tidbit. I don't know if you all have heard this or not, but our bodies will only they'll produce digestive enzymes or metabolic enzymes, either or, but they don't do them both at the same time. So, side note, if you are trying to heal from something, if you're preparing to have surgery, oral surgery, any kind of surgery, and you know your body is going to need to heal, you can give it an extra oomph by taking Terrazyme so that your body doesn't have to worry about the digestive enzymes and it can focus on the healing enzymes. And that has been a game changer. I know a lot of people that have had oral surgery. I myself have done that. I boost that up when we need to heal. My dad has been in the process of he had a leg injury she's had trouble healing, and we boosted his Terrazyme, and he did a couple other things as well, and that seems to be helping speed that healing process along. So that has been super helpful. So Terrazyme is just incredible, and you kind of utilize it more as far as eating.
Just a couple of different ideas of how to use Terrazyme. And if I repeat things, we've got lots of stuff going on, so Amy or I might not catch what the other says. Hey, Carrie has friends with her. Sweetheart. Anyway, Terrazyme is really good to take when you are eating any type of a processed food or meats in general. But especially if you're eating beef or pork or like seafood, you don't necessarily have to take as much. But the Terrazyme is a great help for that. So what we do is about 20 minutes to right before you want to take that before you eat. And my rule of thumb is if I'm having a salad, or like the other night I had some roasted vegetables and a salad with just a little tiny bit of meat on my salad. Didn't have any cheese, didn't have anything dairy related that went with it. I just took one. If you're using any kinds of, it's dinner time. If you use any kinds of processed foods or meats and cheeses, dairies, anything like that, you want to take 2 with your meal. about 20 to 30 minutes before the meal. It allows
And
that.
if it's not exactly that, you can take it
You can take it right as, or right after you start
Yeah.
eating. Another handy hint is, we've actually, was it Boyd Truman that recommended taking them? He actually recommends that you take a lot during the course of the day. But another good suggestion is to take 2 right at night, right before you go to bed, and 2 in the morning, right when you get up, because it allows them to work overnight. We talked a minute ago about how they're kind of the vacuum cleaner for your gut.
Just cleaning
It
out
actually
your gut.
helps to flush out the stuff that a lot of what we have issue with is because food hangs around in our entire digestive system longer than it should, and it gets gross in there.
Yeah.
And so the Terrazyme helps to clear it out.
Yeah. And lest you think, it doesn't like mean that you have to go running for the bathroom. So
No,
at least
no,
in
no,
my
no,
case,
no.
it doesn't.
Yeah,
So it's not like you're like, oh, I can't take that. It doesn't. It just gently kind of does what it's supposed to do already. So it's really an incredible product.
Yeah.
I bet. And we have discovered, my daughter is in a situation where she cannot have gluten or dairy. And her skin goes crazy and flares up really bad. And we have discovered that if she's in a situation, because you all know, sometimes you're in a situation where you don't have an option.
It's introduced and you don't,
or you just are in a situation where you're like, I just have to eat this, for whatever reason. The Terrazyme actually helps to really move that through her system, and she doesn't always have as much trouble as she does. So again, think of it as a vacuum, which is a great visual for that. So, so we talked about Terrazyme. Let's talk real quick about the GX Assist. And I'm going to read this one because this is not one that I use on a regular basis. But GX Assist is the first step in an essential oil digestive maintenance program. Now, let me stop and say, the big kind of hot topic word is cleanse. Everybody wants to talk about a cleanse. Everybody wants to kind of do that. And it's kind of, but Carol and I both recommend a very slow process of doing that, especially if that's not something that you're already either have done in the past, or if you're not already kind of on the bandwagon of utilizing supplements and vitamins and that kind of thing.
And eating really clean.
Yeah.
Do you need to?
And so, yes. So the GX Assist is a good place to start. I'm not sure that I can answer this question because I think she actually needs the link, and I don't know the actual link for tonight. Like to just click on, because it's saying it's not working.
It should be in the comments underneath of the post that I posted earlier this week for this event. Or you can go into the team calendar and copy and paste. Okay. Sorry, things change. We got to help people in. So I'm reading about GX Assist. It's the first step in an essential oil digestive maintenance program. Supports a healthy digestive environment, so it gets your entire gut ready for that. And then it's a proprietary blend of CPTG, which is the certified pure therapeutic grade oils that doTERRA has, and capricolic acid. That's why you said that. Maybe do this because that's got hard words in it. That provides a natural cleanse for a healthy digestive system. Now, when Amy's talking about taking this gently and going slowly, one of the things that we found, I found, this was a personal experience for me, when I was not paying any attention to my diet and was eating the Golden Arches multiple times a week because I was still doing my notary job and driving around and grabbing fast food on a regular basis for my meals. Obviously, I'm not paying any attention. It's processed foods, it's dairy, it's gluten, it's all kinds of stuff, and my Diet Dr. Pepper at the time. Somebody suggested that I get on a cleanse. What happened when I got on that cleanse was I ended up with flu-like symptoms that were horrible. I mean, like, I'm not a crier. I picked up my phone one day and called two of the people. Well, I called one of the people in my upline who called another person in my upline crying because I was that miserable. And she was like, well, stop taking it. And why I didn't think of that, I don't know.
Well, because you're thinking you're just trying to do this.
You're waiting it out.
Okay,
well, as it turns out, I was told to do things in a reverse order than what I should have done. And my body had not had time to prepare for what was going on. So that's what happened. So when we say we want to see you do a gradual start, one of the things we're talking about is start off with cutting some of those nasties from your diet, or at least drastically reducing
them. And we're not here to tell you that you don't ever do that or you can't ever do that and that. It's just a matter of when you're trying to do some of this stuff, some of that we can benefit ourselves by just removing that and letting our body, just kind of gently doing that. I often talk about lemon is a great place to start as a gentle cleanse. A drop or two in your water, doing that on a consistent basis. That actually helps me with my allergies as well, because it just keeps the body flushed. And I just think that those allergens don't have time to build up in your system and make your eyes all itchy. So, and I hadn't been drinking as much in my water as I had.
And one of the things that we've been talking about for the last couple of years about preparing our systems to do something like that is don't start this on January 1st.
Yeah, no.
Don't start it on January 1st. And here's why. Everybody wants to lose weight. They want to do all the good things starting January 1st. But what have you just done to your body? Most people have just been eating cookies and cake and nuts and all of the high protein foods, and they've just been engorging
mashed
themselves.
Potatoes and hash casserole,
with butter and extra butter, and
I'm getting hungry.
And then me too. And then on top of that, you're in the middle of a season that everybody's bodies are fighting off things, and your immune system.
And you're under a whole lot of stress.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
You just it's
you're setting yourself up to get sick.
And so many times when we start talking about cleanses, and a lot of times they are for people who it's their first time to do one, and it just wreaks havoc with their body, and rightly so. So Carol and I are more of the mentality of if you need to start something January 1st, then we would start with basic stuff and just starting introducing lemon into your, and then you do a gentle cleanse.
We're going to suggest things like, we're going to talk about Terra Greens in just a minute. We're going to suggest things like throwing in some Terra Greens and making sure that you're taking your supplements on a regular basis. Absolutely. And at the same time that you're starting all of that stuff.
Yeah. So again, giving your body, if you think about it, we try to, at least for me, when I was raising my kids, I tried to set my kids up for success. I tried to not go to the grocery store when everybody was hungry or tired. Now, I had to at times, but when we went into a place, I made sure that they knew what was expected of them in this place. Well, the same thing for our body. We can't just throw all this at it and then go, here, deal with it, and let me be happy and not cry in the meantime and not feel sick. It's just not going to work. So it's a process and it's a journey. So fortunately, doTERRA's made it really easy for us with these products so that we can kind of work our way through it as well.
Yes. So the cleanse part of a cleanse, doTERRA has made really easy in that we have this GX Assist that we just talked about, but there's also a couple of supplements that you can take that's called Zendocrine, and there's also an oil that's Zendocrine. I read the last one. Do you want to read this one? This is the complex. So she's going to talk about
I'm going to read this because Zendocrine isn't one that I utilize a whole lot, although I have been using the oil topically lately.
Yeah. And for those of you who have been around, the complex is the one that was gone for so long and people were absolutely freaking out about.
And so this one is just the oil, right, in the soft gel.
In a soft gel. Yes.
Okay, so this one supports healthy cleansing and filtering functions of the liver, kidneys, colon, lungs, and skin. Supports normal self-detoxification functions of the cleansing organs, which again are the liver, kidneys, colon, lungs, and then the skin. Those of you know that our skin is an organ, the largest organ we have. So that is why when we're dealing with stuff, it tends to come out on our skin. And then this one, which is the actual oil, it's just in the soft gel, supports the body's natural ability to rid itself of unwanted substances, supports healthy liver function, purifying and detoxifying to the body's system.
Yeah. So the way it has been described to me is that basically this one prepares the body to flush the stuff from your system, and this one helps it flush.
Okay. So, and my guess
is this is like the broom that comes behind everything and helps sweep it out of the system.
I was thinking more like the Roto-Rooter.
Yeah.
So this one is stronger. This one is the one that tends to, right?
I believe
that can kind of knock.
Yeah, I believe
so. So you kind of work
and here's the other thing. If you're not taking them both, now, if you're eating a fairly clean diet and taking care of yourself on a regular basis, I have an iTovi scanner, and almost always, if I have had a weekend where, let's say it was a holiday and we had a cookout, or we went out to eat at a restaurant where we had rolls and all the things, I will frequently scan for this product. And that's just a gentle, hey, you've really kind of abused your body a little bit. Let's take care of that. And this will help do that.
Okay.
So, but this is more of the 10-day, let's
Okay.
really dive in and take care of this.
Okay.
And then we use this as
And
well to help sweep it out.
let's see. Some of these come in sets. The GX Assist, which we're getting ready to talk about PB Assist.
Mhm.
These two can actually, you can get them separate or they come together in a set.
Yep.
But once we've kind of cleared
On the
out the
Loyalty
system,
Rewards program.
yes, once we've kind of cleared out the system, we need to help put the good back in there because we're kind of stripping all the bad out. So we need to make sure that we're rebuilding the good flora in our gut. And PB Assist is an incredible way to do that. We have two products. This is PB Assist, which is a really cool looking little capsule thing. Carol, you always talk well about these. These are called
They're double encapsulated.
double encapsulated. Can you see them?
Which if you look at them really closely, they look really funky because there's a capsule
You can
inside of
actually
a
see it. I
capsule,
know.
which is why they're called double encapsulated.
But it's to get to the parts of the body that it needs to get to, just doesn't get destroyed by the stomach acid. And we're going to talk about the peppermint soft gels in a minute, which are really super cool. But the PB Assist comes in this, and then we have PB Assist Junior, which these are
Which
so
are
yummy.
also double encapsulated. Did you know that?
No, I
In
did
these
not.
tiny little things, they're
my
double
word.
encapsulated.
This is like a pixie stick.
Yep,
They are
it's yum.
so yummy. I actually take. Do you still take both of them?
Yes.
They're different strains. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Strains. And so a lot of people will utilize both of these.
Yeah.
Um,
And when we say they're double encapsulated, what that means is the pill gets, like we said, there's two pills within each other. The pill gets down into the stomach, and then the stomach acids break that up, and it starts to work in the stomach. And then the other part of the capsule gets down into the intestines,
Right.
and actually get down into there to
Right.
repopulate the flora that's in there.
which is where we need that help.
Yep.
So those are incredible products. Lots of kiddos I know love these. I let them ask numerous times a day for these because they're kind of like I said, like a pixie stick. But those are super yummy. With that, and again, it's helping to just rebuild and balance back out the intestinal flora that we've had. And you can take those. You don't have to do the GX Assist first and then do the PB Assist. You can just start utilizing the PB Assist in the body again to help rebuild the flora. If you've been on antibiotic, even just high levels of stress, just mess with our
If you
guts.
have any kind of an upset stomach,
Yeah,
it's good to take some of those.
right. And those of you that have been a part of any of our emotions and oils classes, our emotional classes,
Yeah.
is what I started to say. That's like
we do
everything.
have some of those, but
But you know that our gut is where a lot of our emotions actually are based in the gut. So when your gut is out of sorts, your emotion and your emotional health is also can be out of sorts. So just again, taking care of our gut is hugely beneficial in our overall body health and body and emotions. Okay, so we talked about PB Assist. Let's talk about the peppermint soft gels because I just think that they're so great.
all right, these are enteric coated peppermint. That's all that's in them is peppermint, but they're enteric coated like most ibuprofen,
Okay,
is enteric coated.
okay,
And the way that this works is that they've got a special coating on them. So, and you can't really tell it. I mean, they look like the
they
other
look
soft
just regular
gels.
soft gels, but yeah.
They're a little bit more opaque.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's
it's hard
what
to
they
see.
look like.
Yeah.
But it's just peppermint. But doTERRA has been doing some incredible research over the last, I think they said they researched this for about 3
I think
years.
it was 3 years. Yeah, I think so.
To figure out the exact dosage needed to get down into the upper and lower intestine and spread throughout that entire intestinal area to give just the exact coating that we need to make sure that things flow through there nicely, play nicely, it repairs, it heals.
Yeah. Well, okay,
And-
so let's talk about that. Okay, when you have an extended, doesn't even have to be extended, but when your intestines are out of whack, and for those of you that deal with that, deal with just those intestinal issues, and again, some of that is stress related. Sometimes it's stress related, sometimes it's diet related, sometimes it's medicine that you've been on or are on. That inflammation in there goes nuts and your whole intestinal tract is just inflamed. Then you end up where you eat certain things and certain things get stuck in there and they cause pain. It's all inflammation based. So we've got to reduce that inflammation to, again, help with the pain, so that the body functions better.
Yep.
So the peppermint.
Well, and think about how soothing peppermint is
Yes.
when you use it topically on your
Yeah.
skin.
Well, I was just gonna say, when you are out in the sun too long and your skin is going nuts and you're pink or red, if you take a spray, we use lavender and peppermint is what we'll do. We'll put a few drops in a spray bottle, add water, and you spray that on your skin. It's immediately cooling. Well, it's going to do that to your insides, which is what needs to happen. And again, if you know that the inflammation and that constant, when your body, it's not able to stop all of that from happening, you just continue to strip that and to add to that. It just, the inflammation just continue. And we had a friend today that
she's just outed herself if you're on Facebook.
she was taking the peppermint soft gel. She said she was feeling a little bloated. And so and the dosage says 1 or 2. So we get a message from her, and a group message says, have either one of you taken 2 peppermint soft gels? And I'm like, I've only ever taken 1, you know, whatever. Well, she took 2. And I wish I could remember her exact
at night. And then,
oh yes, at night, and then first thing in the morning. And I wish that she could. And if she wants to share the verbiage that she used, it was quite humorous. But
minty fresh,
going in and coming out,
and burned all over.
Yes. But again, so that capsule though gets where it breaks open, and then it coats the intestine. So again, people who you know that have the things that are the letters.
Things that are irritating your bowels.
Yes,
that's a symptom.
Yes, there we go. And that issue, this is huge. And for those of you that have ever dealt with intestinal issues and know that how awful that is, because, you know, a lot of times you have to go to the bathroom, you have to go right now. You see those commercials about people who have to scope out where the bathroom is in any situation. So huge. Now, these are recommended that you take, I believe it's 20 minutes before you eat. And here's why. You can take it. The problem is if you take it after you've started eating, it actually will sit on top of the food, and then you'll tend to burp up peppermint.
Yep. That I do know.
Yeah, Carol did that. So that is why it's recommended that you take before. Think about it. It's getting into your system, breaking down, getting to the intestine and coating it.
Before the food
hits. Yeah. So incredible product though. And I've taken it a couple times when I've had an upset stomach or, you know, something like that. And I've done that as well. So, but peppermint is a huge, and we've even heard from several doctors who've said they've known that peppermint has been a huge tool. They just couldn't figure out how to get it to where it needed to be in the body when it needed to be there.
And I will give you a handy Carol hint. If you are somebody that struggles with eating legumes and beans and that type of thing, and experiencing a little bit of extra gassiness after you eat that, taking the Terrazyme and a peppermint soft gel as you start to eat will incredibly help that.
Both at the same time?
I do.
Interesting. Okay, good to know.
Yep.
Good to know. So,
because you gotta have some refried beans when you go for Mexican.
Yeah. Well, when you go for Mexican, which has been forever. Yes. So again, incredible products that doTERRA has offered. I'm going to talk real quick about Terra Greens just briefly, because we're actually going to talk more about this on Monday. But Terra Greens are our product that doTERRA has that is literally this. It's a powder. I will tell you guys, it's green.
It's very green.
It's green.
It's very green.
See it? But even though it looks like veggies, it actually has more of a sweet fruit smell. But I actually add this. Yes, it does. Do not. It does not.
Yes, it does.
No, it does not, guys. Yes, it does kind of have a gross smell. It tastes sweet. I literally can add this and applesauce and eat it. And I'm not a green crunchy person, but I can do that with this. I also add it to other things too sometimes.
I put it in my smoothies.
Yeah.
And you notice a little tiny bit of a taste, but
I put it in meatloaf one time and didn't tell my family. They didn't know it was in there. They didn't know. But anyway,
it says it's sweet.
This is something that we actually have a friend whose husband utilizes this and can tell a huge difference in his emotions and his anxious feelings if he doesn't utilize this in the morning. So isn't that interesting? But again, that would be proof of the fact that our emotions can be centered in the gut, and when we're taking care of that it can help to utilize the other things. So, but on Monday night, okay, so side note, on Monday night, our class is going to be, you'll like this, drink your doTERRA.
Drink your oils.
Drink your oils. And then we were like, well, they're not. So so we're going to utilize Terra Greens, Trim Shakes, how to utilize things like in coffee, tea, hot chocolate,
Lemonade.
that kind of stuff. So that's what we're doing Monday night. And so we'll talk a little bit more about Terra Greens on Monday night. And I'll get Carol to eat some applesauce.
I eat them. Not in applesauce,
Green eggs
but I
and
eat
ham.
them.
Yes. So last we talked a little bit about lemon oil. You know, that as far as that goes, our citrus oils are huge for helping to gently cleanse the system. But let's talk about the turmeric.
Turmeric.
And you do. That's a good job of talking about turmeric.
Okay, so a year and a half ago at convention, they introduced turmeric oil, and people got super excited for good reason.
Mhm.
Everybody's using turmeric.
Yeah.
One of the
Or
issues.
turmeric, or
How
however
do
you
you say it?
Potato, potato.
Yeah, exactly. One of the issues that is known to be true with turmeric is that in order to get the full benefit of it, there has to be some added properties that allow us to get, because there's two parts of turmeric, and I can go into a lot more detail, but I won't tonight. Two parts of turmeric. In order to get the full benefit, you want to have both parts. But the oil only contains one of those two parts. So in order to fully utilize the turmeric oil, what they suggest, or even turmeric, if you're taking turmeric pills of any kind, they recommend that you use something like black pepper, or there's other things, but black pepper is the one that we have most readily available to take with your turmeric oil if you're just taking the oil, or like I said, a powdered supplement, in order to get the full benefit. Now, what are the benefits of turmeric? Turmeric is huge when it comes to inflammation in the body.
Absolutely.
Huge. So again, doTERRA did their research, and both of these things are proprietary with doTERRA. They've done all kinds of, they're patenting, I don't know what all, I don't know if they can patent, but they're doing all of the
It's probably
studies,
and the
and
double encapsulated is probably
the patented part.
Yeah.
And it's the enteric coated peppermint
Yes.
that would be able to be patented. But what they have done with our turmeric duo, what do they call them? Dual chamber capsules. It's like the probiotic PB Assist that we talked about. There's two parts to them. I'll open one up so I don't know that you can see. Yeah, you can kind of. If you look really closely, you can see that
See
it's
how
kind of
this end is
one end
a
is
little bit more
darker.
clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this end is powder.
Mhm.
So it's the powdered turmeric. This end is the oil. Because they can do it that way, it's got both parts of the turmeric that's so vital to fully, or your body being able to fully utilize turmeric. And as a result, we get the full benefit of turmeric with these dual encapsulate or dual.
And you don't have to take anything else
chamber
with
capsules.
it. Yes.
Yeah. You don't have to take the
Yes.
extra black pepper, any of that kind of thing, and you can just pop it and go. Peggy's asking, are
Well,
they
I was
available
just
to
gonna say,
purchase again?
because these were such a hot commodity and have been working so well,
And because the whole world is crazy right now.
and because everybody's trying to reduce inflammation in the body, these have been unavailable for a little while. But they look like they're scheduled to be back in about a month or so, right?
They said July or August. No, that
No.
was June,
Yeah,
mid-June.
June.
It
Yeah.
was the diffuser that was July. or
So
August.
let me tell you though
Mid-June.
what you can
Again,
do in the meantime.
That's a hoped for time.
Sure. But in the meantime, we still have an option.
Yep.
We still have the turmeric oil, okay?
Mhm.
And then you know that we have the veggie caps. Those are the little empty capsules that we can buy that you just pull apart and you can make your own. Like if you're going to do lemon, lavender, peppermint for seasonal stuff going on, you can make your own if you don't buy the tries. So you can do the same thing with turmeric. You can take the turmeric oil and you can take our black pepper oil, put them in the veggie cap, push them back together, and then take it. And you kind of have the same concept. Now,
And you will appreciate the dual capsules much
Yes.
more by the time you're done doing that.
Question. What was the other thing too that they recommended doing in place of that? It wasn't Copaiba. Was it the deep blue? Do you remember? And because it was, was it deep blue?
Yes.
Okay, deep blue is the deep blue,
the
polyphenol soft gels are another option as
which
well.
are also in limited supply,
but we can still get them.
Yeah.
So anyway, so those are some options.
And I personally would do there's no exact science to this, but I personally would do maybe 2 drops of turmeric oil and a drop of black pepper in the same capsule.
The other option that you have to do if you're really trying to focus on inflammation and balancing that would be to do the turmeric oil down your spine.
Mm-hmm.
That is big for me. I love to do stuff down the spine because it gets throughout the whole body fairly quickly.
Now, the turmeric oil has a very distinct
It stinks.
fragrance.
Guys. It stinks. It does not smell good.
Yeah.
But if you're dealing with inflammation, then you don't really.
You got to
and
do
again,
what you got to do.
you did it down your spine, and I don't usually just do turmeric by itself.
Right.
I'm usually
Put some
utilizing
deep
a
blue
protocol,
rub or
something minty or whatever. Again, pair it with copaiba, frankincense. That'll be quite a power punch if you were to do those 3 oils together. So again, huge for inflammation in the body is turmeric.
See, now Peggy wants to listen to me.
What's she saying?
It stinks.
It does stink. It sure does. That's the top of the list with spikenard.
Yeah.
Those 2. But anyway, so again, those are some easy ways to help to balance inflammation in the body. Again, we need to reduce our own things that add to inflammation in the body. So let me tell you, we're going to take questions in just a second. Let me just tell you this story real quick. So again, this has been an 8-year journey for me utilizing oils and all of this. I really knew very little about anything like this. So it's been a process. So I was the one putting the peppermint in my brownies and thinking that it was all good and I could eat the pan of brownies because it had peppermint oil, not the whole pan. But so years ago, my kids all got the chickenpox. My oldest son got them first, and he has struggled with eczema, skin stuff since he was a baby. I mean, we took him off of dairy. I mean, it has been a process for him since he was tiny. And so he got the chickenpox first. Okay, so he's in bed with the chickenpox. Now, if you ask him, he would say it's the easiest illness he ever had. Now, this is my son that's super tall. At the time, he was, I think, 12, 13, and he was over 6 feet tall. So the chickenpox literally went from his head to about mid-torso. And we decided that it was because the virus said it had gone far enough. It wasn't going
normally
further.
it's in a 2 or 3-year-old.
Yeah, and it was like,
about that tall.
I've gone far enough. So he had the chickenpox. Didn't itch, didn't bother him, whatever. But the whole time that he was sick, he was drinking Kool-Aid. Again, we drank Kool-Aid. So he's drinking Kool-Aid. He's got chickenpox. Well, when he was over the chickenpox, his eczema went crazy. I mean, it had never been so bad. It was on his face. It was bad. And a sweet friend of mine came to me at church, we were talking, and she's like, hey, she said, did you know that sugar actually can exasperate eczema? And I said, no, I had no idea. Because again, it's all coming from the inside. And I was like, oh, so I said to him, okay, son, you're going to no drinking sugar. Like, we're going to try this. But I mean, he was still eating some stuff, but it was the drinking, because I knew it was getting in his body. You know, when you're drinking, it's in there so fast. So he stopped. We stopped all sugar. And don't you know that he cleared up very quickly. So that was kind of my first experience with, oh, okay, so this is all kind of pieces of this puzzle. So again, when we're dealing with inflammation, we might need to think about what we're eating. Again, if you guys are starting to, you getting congested, you got a cold, you whatever, those of you may know this, but dairy actually adds to mucus in the body. Well, if you're already dealing with all that, think about that. Don't drink any milk. Eat very little. Bye, guys. Hey, Michael. Again, those are some things that we can do to help. It's so interesting because, so a lot of times when we're coming down with something, there are weird things that happen in your body. And you might be in a situation where you're like, oh my goodness, I've been craving sugar like crazy. Well, here's what's going on. The cells in your body, the viruses that are in there, feed off of sugar. Well, what do you think it's telling your body? It's trying to survive. It's trying to replicate and multiply. So it's telling your body, I need sugar. Okay, no. So again, you start to kind of learn those things, and then you kind of go, oh, it makes sense. So again, it's a journey. It's a process. We all do the things that we don't know do. Well, when I had some massive oral surgery done this past summer, and I was so struggling, and Carol and I were talking, and she's like, what have you, and I said, all I can eat is mashed potatoes and cream of soups and whatever. And Carol says to me, oh my word, think about it. And it hit me too at the same time, all this stuff that was feeding the inflammation in my body that I was already dealing with from the top. So again, it's a process. So don't ever feel like, oh my gosh, why did I not know that? It's a process and a journey. So, and we all do, like I said, we all do stuff that we're like, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah.
Why did I think not to think to use whatever? Yeah. So again, reducing inflammation in the body, we have products and tools that help with that drastically, but we ourselves can help with that as well. Again, research some of the things, just Google foods that cause inflammation in the body, and you'll be amazed at the list. And again, it doesn't mean you can't ever eat those, but especially if you're dealing with stuff, if your joints are hurting, if you've got whatever, you might just look at reducing that for this time period and see if you can help to reduce that
So I
inflammation in the
hate
body.
to tell you, Mom was right when she said eat your veggies.
Yeah. So again, hope that makes sense. And some of that is just, again, more information for us on this journey, education, learning, and walking this together. And like I said, we all do stuff that we're like, oh man, wasn't even thinking about that. So
I'm sitting here drinking my sweet tea right now.
I'm drinking water at the moment, but I did have sweet tea earlier. So again, hopefully that kind of helps to kind of start that process and being able to kind of think that through. So does anybody have any questions?
If you are on Zoom, you can go ahead and unmute yourself to ask your question. If you're on Facebook, jump on really quick and ask your question there, because there's a little bit of lag time. So
yeah, sometimes we don't see it right away.
Yeah.
So,
but we are paying attention. Yes, ma'am. Terry Bass, ma'am.
Thank you. I heard when I had to leave and come back real quick, and you mentioned 3 oils, I believe. So with the inflammation, make sure I know turmeric, and I think you mentioned black pepper with it, and then one other one, but I don't know what the other one was.
That we were talking about putting those in a capsule, but I think the 3 that I just haven't mentioned would have been turmeric, copaiba, and frankincense. More if we were doing kind of a combination of those, but black pepper, absolutely. But that was, I think, more to go into the capsule.
With the turmeric, gotcha.
And then also deep blue polyphenol and the alpha CRS part of the LLB.
Wait, I'm sorry, about the polyphenol and
also the deep blue polyphenol and the alpha CRS part of LLB.
Yes.
They aren't they very similar?
They have some similarities, but there's different things in each of them.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so you're recommending the 3 oils and then those 2 products.
Especially, yes, and especially those 3, I would do, that would be more my thing too topically. I mean, you could take them internally as well, but topically, because you can really spot that, or down the spine would be, especially if you've got stuff that's kind of going systemic. Yeah.
More like up here. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else have questions? We can see some of you, but not all of you, so I'm scrolling back and forth.
Yeah. Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. What I do is not just for me, but for my 12-year-old. I have a gymnast, and she's in a high level for such a young age. I give her under her tongue a drop of frankincense every morning.
Yep.
I like this flavor, so I don't mind. For her, it's a little bit strong, but she deals with that.
Right.
At night, I put under her tongue a copaiba drop as well.
I was just thinking copaiba is another oil we need to mention.
Yeah. And I take the soft gel of copaiba. She's braver than I am. I cannot take the copaiba, but she does. So that's what we do. And I love to cook. My heritage is European Spain, so I cook. So veggies are a main thing here. And this, for all what's going on now, what I put is turmeric. I got the organic turmeric. I try to mix it with whatever. And actually, ginger is really good anti-inflammatory that you mentioned. And well, the turmeric and all those, the black pepper is always good. But my question was, if I'm doing the half of what I supposed to just do in the franke and the copaiba, should I add turmeric and black pepper as well, or with that we are okay?
I would say if she seems to be doing okay, I would leave that as an extra step if she's got a day that she's really hurting.
Okay.
That's my thought.
Okay, perfect. Good. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Okay.
She mentioned that to me before.
Okay, we're gonna run on really quickly and talk about what's coming up next week, and then we'll be done. So just so you know, and then one other thing. So next week, you know, we're doing right now. We're doing things on Mondays and Thursdays. Next week on Monday, we have planned. Amy already mentioned the drink your oils, and I'm gonna leave that title. Yeah.
Because you know we don't actually, well, we got to be careful with that. So yeah.
I mean, you know, Worst thing that can happen is they show up and we learn them how.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is Monday night at 6:30 via Zoom. We'll post the link again. And then Thursday night, we are still kind of up in the air as to what we're going to do. We have an idea, but we need to pursue it a little bit further. So just keep an eye on the Team Holtz Essentials page or on the team calendar, and we'll let you know for sure what we're doing. We might do some team participation for that one. So just keep that in mind. And then one other thing that I wanted to show you really quickly. If you are somebody that has absolutely no interest whatsoever in the business side of doTERRA, then I guess we're done with you for the evening. So we're done with you. So you can feel free to log off if you want to. If you have other questions, hang in for a minute and we'll go ahead and answer those. If you are somebody that is either already using doTERRA's opportunity to build a business, or have even the remotest amount of interest in the possibility of doing that, I'm going to do something in the next week or so. It might be 10 days. I haven't decided for sure. That is just a training on going over the back office with doTERRA, which for those of you who are building a business with doTERRA, you know that is that's the area of the website that we can utilize to see how things are going, what's going on, what we need to concentrate on, that type of thing. And I put a post up yesterday on the Team Holtz Essentials page about this, and had a little bit of difficulty with the registration part of getting that all pulled together. So it's a little bit more complicated than it looks. So let me do a screen share really quickly and show you how to do that real quickly, just to make sure that and the bottom line is, if you think you signed up and you have not gotten a confirmation email, then you have not completed it. So we need to have you walk through the process.
Because I thought I did it all. And then I saw the post and she's like, if you should have gotten an email. And I was like, yeah, didn't get an email.
And let me just, before I show you how to do that, let me just explain something really quickly. Yes, there are less complicated ways we could collect your information and make sure you have it. However, my purpose in doing it the way that I did it was so that we have all of your contact information in one place, so that I can do a group message to people if we need to do that. And it's all easy and ready to go. So just bear with. You're building a business with doTERRA. You can do hard things, and this is one of those. So, and it's not really that hard.
And again, this is good information just to have. So even if you just, again, it doesn't obligate you to anything.
Right.
So it's good to see kind of what doTERRA has.
And if you're really nosy and just want to see what a Diamond's back office looks like, this is your opportunity. So there's that also. So anyway, let me do a share screen for you here really quickly, and you should be able to see my screen. So what you're going to do is you're going to jump onto my website, which is Carol Holtz. Let's see if I can do this. carolholtz.com. And then now you can see how many thousands of people in our neighborhood are on the internet because of the amount of time it takes to get here. It's going to download the website. And on the website, you're going to see a page here that says register for an event. So just click on that spot that says register for an event. And I know that sometimes you guys don't jump onto the website on a regular basis, so this might be just a reminder to you that it's there. There's lots of stuff there for you. So you're going to come down here and see where it says, are you interested in a Zoom training on doTERRA's back office? So this is the same graphic you would see on the Facebook page. Oops, I don't need to sign up for the email list. There's zero cost, so you're just going to click on that graphic and it's going to take you to a different page. This is where it gets a little squirrely. It says you want one, you only need one. Click on the button right here that says complete registration. And you'll notice it says, be sure to select your card on the next screen and follow the prompts to finish. So it's a reminder for you there. Then you're going to fill out all of this information, and it won't let you proceed without filling out all this information. Whoops, guess I know my own phone number. Fill that out, put in your Wellness Advocate number, and then click complete registration. Now, you're not done. It looks like you're done.
Yeah,
you're not done. you're going to go up here to where you see a shopping cart. See the shopping cart right here? Okay.
Just so that you know, on my phone, it was at the bottom.
Yeah.
Just so you know, because I was doing it on my phone. So
you'll
it
have
came
to
across,
look around
yeah.
a little bit, find the shopping
And
cart.
I didn't see it at first. So
Click on the shopping cart. This is just like making a purchase on a website. That's technically what you're doing, but you're not paying anything for it. So you'll see here, there's a shopping cart populated with the back office training at 0 cost, and you've got one person coming. Scroll down here to where it says checkout, click on checkout. Now here's the one real pain. It is gonna ask you for your address. It will not ask you for any payment information. It is gonna ask you for your complete address. And my driver's checker is checking. Hang on one second. Here we go. It's thinking hard. Okay, you can see right here, you're gonna put in your email one more time. You're gonna choose whether or not you want to subscribe to the mailing list, which is my personal email list. And I send stuff, just personal doTERRA oil stuff. And I'll send some reminders when it comes to newsletters and that kind of thing. So you can click or unclick that.
let me ask you, what happens if they unclick that? Like
Nothing.
if they click it, nothing? Like
They,
if
they won't be added to the email list.
Well, I didn't know if that, because I knew sometimes it like permanently would do something.
No, that's
Okay.
only if you unsubscribe.
Okay.
And then click on continue. This is where you have to put in your address, your billing address, click continue, and then it's going to ask you one more time if the information is correct. You're just going to say purchase, and then you should get a confirmation email. Again, I know that's a little detailed and a pain in the rear, but in the long run, that's going to help us all out. So,
That's how you do it.
yep. If you have any questions, shoot me a message. But long story short, if you don't get a confirmation email, you're not confirmed. Now, that's not a huge big deal, except that I'm only going to notify the people who complete this process about the Zoom call that you want to be a part of. So if it's been a week and you haven't gotten that email information, check with me.
Okay.
That's what we got.
All righty.
All right. Anybody have last minute questions regarding either this training or anything coming up? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
It's good to see you all.
Yeah. Great evening. All right.
And
Looks like everybody's good.
We'll see you
Thank
again.
you.
You're welcome.
We'll see you again on Monday.
You're welcome. Hello, Michael.
Good to see you guys.
We will see you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.